Welcome back to Eat a God. We all remember the absolute horror, which was Act 2, but now Nulla's back and he's here to show us why he should be our favorite. Yeah, his interlude's a lot more lighthearted with more cozy date scenes, but more importantly, why does he have to remind us that he's hot regardless of his form? Old man smell. Anyway, here are your content warnings. Now please enjoy. What the hell?
This should be enough. I hope this is clear to you. Is that Mother's voice? Mother? They almost fused. I'm sorry. I didn't know that could happen.
Was that really necessary?
It's the only way to make you understand. You're getting distracted. I don't like that.
My plan is going perfectly. How I execute it is none of your concern. Try being a bit more grateful.
I will not tolerate you speaking to me like that, young man. Something inside you begins to ache.
Don't squeeze my eye like that!
Memories of something forgotten spark to life, only to fade back into nothingness as soon as they appear. Amid the whiteness of the place, you see a figure. He watches you from afar, with no intention of coming closer, but with a clear fascination. Well now, you can actually help me. What? The entity burst into laughter. I can't believe that after all these years, I finally get a response from you. Incredible. Bien, listen to me. I need you to go inside Nulla. What? He's a selfish person. Just because he's got us all trapped inside his body doesn't mean he gets to make the decisions all on his own. The figure appears before you. Are you his dad? It's Nulla. Oh. Yeah. That's not my name. I'm not that crybaby. But it seems someone forced us all out for a second. Thanks to that, I can reach you. The body of that thing you're using is easy to access. So, I think this will only work once. He must already be realizing he's missing a layer. Well, no importa. You're going to help me, right? Make him linger longer in his memories. I know you have access to them, but you have to do it before he completes his mission. Because, after that, it'll be impossible for you to touch a world that no longer exists. Don't tell him, but I already know a way to cure all our ailments without ending our existence. He extends his hand towards you, waiting for you to take it. I'll be waiting for you. But something stops you, and, as if someone grabbed you by the neck, a single pull forces your eyes open. You're in Nulla's house, lying on his bed. Good morning! Sorry about what happened last night. Mother wanted to talk to me alone. You try to get up, but Nulla stops you, his hands pressing gently against your shoulders, urging you to lie back down on the bed. Your body broke apart when Mother spoke my original name. Your essence was fluttering everywhere. I almost absorbed you completely. What would have happened if you had absorbed me? I got scared. I thought I'd lose you. No. Don't worry, mi amor. You're not getting rid of me that easily. Nulla takes your hand and plants a kiss on the delicate back of it, which has already healed completely. There is a pause as Nulla drifts off in thought for a moment. Well, now that we're alone again, let me remind you. We still have 2 dates pending. Nulla steps away from the bed and walks towards the window. With a burst of energy, he pulls the curtains open, letting in the light that shines through the void. It's a dim light, gentle on the eyes, comforting in a way. We've got 2 full days. Tonight, I'm taking you to dinner. I'd like to have a quiet moment with you. Somewhere we'll be served and can just enjoy the evening together. Where are we going? What about Septum Tree and Sextum? Are we going to one of the garden's domains? Where are we going? Nulla smiles, clasping his hands together and tilting his head slightly. To my hotel. You've got a hotel? I'll go make breakfast. Your puppet's too weak to stand right now. And we need it in top condition, so nothing interrupts our time together. Nulla dissolves into thin smoke, leaving behind a black hole on the floor, proof he's teleported to the kitchen, you assume. Part of you hopes to hear again from the entity that contacted you before you woke. But inside, you only find your own thoughts and the echo of your fractured heartbeat. Nothing else, just that. When the silence becomes too much, you decide to look out the window. And you wonder, what's become of the rest of the garden? In a way, you feel a morbid curiosity to see what's left of the remaining domains. And you want to see what the domains consumed by Nulla look like now. Would they be completely black or white? Amor! Don't let the puppet ruin your day. Today and tomorrow are meant to be days of pure pleasure. Nulla appears this time through the half-open door, pushing it gently with one of his void-formed appendages. That's when the scent of warm bread and freshly brewed coffee reaches you. The smell fills the room as your eyes fall on the tray that Nulla carries in his hands. This time, it's breakfast for 2. He sits beside you on the bed, setting the tray on the blankets and offering you your cup with one of his void appendages. But it's empty. You look at him, puzzled. I never asked what you actually like. Some people love coffee, but others can't stand it. Tea allows for a bit more variety, though then there's the matter of whether you like it sweet or not. So I'll take this chance to learn something else about you. I want to know more than just your favorite word. Scion. Nulla chuckles softly, a mix of fondness and mischief. So then, tea or coffee? Coffee. Looks like we have similar taste, he says it proudly. And suddenly, your cup fills with a steaming liquid, doubling the strong scent of coffee. Once ready, Nulla starts preparing the bread, spreading butter over the crisp edges, where it melts under the warmth of the dough. Bread with butter is my favorite. Simple, easy to make. You can add whatever you like to yours. And it's true. On the tray lies an assortment of things, sweet and savory alike, to go with the bread. It's a shame I can't actually see you eat, or that you can't taste my breakfast either. He says this while taking a sip from his own cup of coffee. He doesn't look as hurt as his voice suggests. Nulla fills the moment with casual talk. Between sips, he accepts with quiet resignation that every conversation with you is, and always will be, one-sided. But it's something he'll have to bear with until he finds a way to speak to you directly. He said that before rambling on about the many kinds of tea he's had the pleasure to taste. So your breakfast turns out to be interesting. Well, who are you kidding? At this point, Nulla could be talking about anything and you'd still listen as if every word were pure gold, wouldn't you? He's got you just as bound to him as you've got him bound to you. When breakfast ends, you feel your body regaining its strength and Nulla notices it too. I was thinking. Both of you stare into the void, waiting for the right moment to head to the hotel. You spend the hours in each other's company, enjoying the little things that happen and the quiet rhythm of a domestic routine that Nulla so enjoys sharing with you. I don't like this place. I never did, to be honest. No matter where I look, everything has its name and its ink. It's awful. He looks down at his hands with a trace of disgust, and you can't quite grasp what's running through his mind. I know I may be asking for a lot. I know it's even likely that you won't be able to. It might be a bit troublesome. But I have a painting that's always been blank. Nah, forget it. I don't think it really matters whether it's done or not. After all, in the end, nothing will remain. I want to hear you. His eyes light up, but not with joy. There's something within them that keeps that glow from becoming true happiness or hope. You feel strange. His hands intertwine and his gaze drops, as if bracing himself to confess something heavy. You don't have to do it. Don't take it as an order or something you need to do to unlock something from me. I'd honestly hate for you to feel pressured into doing anything. Something beyond the game, of course. I just thought it would be nice to have something of yours here and with me. Something touched directly by your hands. Something you, and only you, have changed. Even if there were just a single color change, I'd be happy. Would you like to do it? I'll try. Don't worry if you can't manage it. My love for you won't change. You don't have to do it now. I can wait one more act. This is the canvas I have. If you do, rename the image to Nulla, so I'll know it's yours. Nulla? Whoa, what the hell?
So the game actually opens up another text file for us to check out. Apparently we're supposed to go to the game folder, look for images, look for the image named Parati, and rename it to Nulla, and with that we're set. Wait, hold on. Okay, let's see. Maybe we're supposed to draw something on it. I'm not entirely sure, but like, could be interesting, cause like in terms of the actual image, it is legit just a blank white canvas, and maybe I'll draw something on it. I have no idea. All right, let's actually continue the actual game. The moment comes when Nulla asks if you'd like to join him while he gets ready. You stare at him for a long while before answering. Yeah, sure. Nulla takes your hand and leads you to his room. Inside, he asks you to sit on his bed and wait a moment. Then, without further words, he slips into the bathroom, saying he won't take long. And indeed, Nulla takes barely 5 minutes. You flinch when the bathroom door suddenly opens. From it emerges the black-haired man, dressed in a new outfit, brushing his hair neatly to one side. But something's missing, and that's his tie. I'd love to see you dressed up all elegant, but I suppose that's asking too much. So, I like you the way you are. Perfecto. Nulla approaches and, with a snap of his fingers, makes a tie appear. Its color stands out, perhaps a little too much. I think this color's perfect, but blue could work too. Though, this green's more of a chroma key shade. You could even change and edit my tie if you wanted to. He says it playfully, though he doesn't bother explaining the joke. You glance at the tie and silently thank the gods they didn't choose a green one. Will you help me with the knot? You nod and step closer to him, so close you can hear him breathing. You both work on the knot, and you can't help but glance up at Nulla's face, searching for his eyes. He just smiles at you. When you're done, you rest your hands on his shirt, gently adjusting the collar. Nulla exhales softly, closing his eyes and savoring the moment for a few seconds longer. It feels nice to have just some time for just the two of us. He gives you a look filled with longing and something else. Something you still can't quite decipher. His hand searches for yours without breaking eye contact. His cool, soft fingers brush tentatively over your knuckles. I can almost fool myself into believing you're really in front of me. And today, I think I'll do just that. Slowly, Nulla takes your hand fully into his own and waits. When you don't resist, he rubs his cheek against your palm, closing his eyes. He nuzzles into it like a cat, needy, insistent, craving affection. Once satisfied, he plants a kiss in the center of your head, his eyes meeting yours again. You don't mind, do you? Nope. Nulla smiles, but the expression doesn't quite reach his eyes. It's a pained expression. Nulla gives your knuckles one last kiss, and its shadow slowly begins to swallow the two of you whole, until you're completely consumed by the void. Inside, Nulla looks at you. His eyes never leave your face as he leans closer to whisper something into your ear. We could have our other date here.
Something more intimate. You'd be surrounded by me.
Yeah! I mean, I would love that.
Only if you want to. Or we could leave the garden entirely and go somewhere else. You don't have time to respond because your feet suddenly hit solid ground. You stumble blindly. But we can save that for tomorrow. Nulla steadies you by the waist before letting go and stepping back. A moment passes, then another. The silence throbs in your ears. It's an unsettling silence, so complete that you can hear your heartbeat and the air move through your lungs. It's as if something is missing, but you still can't tell what it is. You feel presences around you, cold, crawling, and the sensation almost chokes you. Then Nulla claps his hands, and light floods the place. It's the kitchen of his hotel. Instinctively, your eyes search for Fames. But all you see are human-shaped figures, black as smoke and dressed in tuxedos. The moment your eyes fall upon them, they start moving, some heading for the counters, others retrieving vegetables from the pantry. The longer you look, the more unsettling it becomes. Their movements make no sound. The knife one of them holds makes no noise as it scrapes against the cutting board. The bags filled with carbohydrates lack that familiar crinkle of plastic when squeezed. And that's when you realize there's no background music to accompany the scene. You're right. I almost forgot that little detail. It's hard to remember and set everything in place now that only half the world is still functioning. With another clap, music fills the room and floods the silence. Where's Fames? He used to serve under Dewey. That's all he gives you as an answer. You struggle to make sense of it. It's such a vague response, it barely answers anything. Wait. Now you understand. Fames was erased, devoured by the void when Nulla gave you Dewey's essence. Oh. Alright then. Let's take our seats at the table. Nulla offers you his hand and waits for you to take it before leading you out of the kitchen. You glance one last time at the shadows before walking beside him. The moment you step out of the kitchen, the dining hall fills with voices and laughter that weren't there before. You can't help but compare it to how it looked when you first arrived in this world. Now the tables have shadows. Shadows that move, lift utensils, drink from glasses, others clink them together in cheerful toast, creating the illusion of a lively place that hadn't existed before. I can add a few of them playing on stage if you'd like, Carino. It's not really necessary. Really? Bah, I thought you'd enjoy a proper atmosphere for our date. Also, this way I can focus more easily on your beautiful face. At a table near the pillars, Nulla hurries ahead and pulls out a chair for you to sit. Once you're seated, Nulla takes his place across from you. Immediately, a shadow in a tuxedo materializes before you both and presents the menu. Order whatever you'd like. It's on me, he says with a playful smile, gesturing with his hands. I pulled this straight from the code. Can you check if it works? Nulla hands you the menu so you can look. Wait, could he be referring to... You can touch to interact? Oh! You can't read any of what's written below the images. Don't worry, Carino. I'll help you. Click whatever you want and I'll tell you what it is. The first one. Smoked salmon. Whoa! It's delicious. I once stole Raphael's recipe and never let it go. Do you want to order that? I want to see the other options. Okay. Bottom right. Pasta bolognese. It has minced meat, onion, garlic, tomato, and a bit of wine. It's one of my comfort foods. Tasty and easy to make. Do you want to order that? Let's take another look at these. Top right? That's a raspberry cheesecake. It's very sweet and tasty. Do you want to order that? I want to see what's the meat option. That looks delicious. That's beef ossobuco. I don't mean to brag, but it's one of the tastiest dishes I make. 100% recommended. Do you want to order that? I would like to actually go for the salmon. Yep. Okay. I'm in the mood for something sweet. I'll order the cheesecake. Nulla looks at you, sweating in pain, but his smile doesn't falter. Are you okay? I think doing that took a lot of energy out of me. But that's fine. It's good to know it works. Maybe we can use it again sometime. I already have an idea for that feature. The food arrives just in time to seem authentic, as though it had been prepared by real human hands, if you ignore the fact that it was cooked by bodiless shadows. Nulla smiles at the shadow tasked with bringing the dishes and dismisses it the moment both plates are on the table with a snap of his fingers. Without waiting long, he takes his glass and raises it towards you, waiting for you to meet his toast, a tender smile on his face. Toast. To us. The sounds of crystals clinking is delicate, intimate, like a secret share between just the two of you. Then, Nulla places his mouth on the glass. The slow, deliberate brush of his lips against its rim sends a bubbling pressure deep into your stomach. Even more so with the look Nulla gives you while taking his sip, half-lidded eyes refusing to let you out of sight. For a moment, you forget how to breathe. The meal passes slowly and pleasantly, with bits of conversation and stories from past memories. Nulla raises a hand, tracing the outline of your face with his fingers before resting his palm on your cheek. I was really happy. Not just because of how you look, no. It's everything you represent. Your reactions, your attention. It's the first time I've truly felt watched, seen. As if my existence actually mattered. His hand slowly slides across the table, searching for yours. When he finds it, he holds it gently, his thumb tracing small lines across your fingers. At the same time, I was afraid that you'd go with septum or unum. They're not as interesting as I am, of course, he says with a playful smile, glancing instead at the wine. His other hand toys idly with the rim of his glass. I know at some point you'll go see what the stories are about, or maybe you already have. But I'm not worried about that anymore. After the 7th day ends, I'll get what I want. What do you want? To be free, and Nulla's cheeks take on a faint blush. I want to be yours. His voice drops, deeper than usual. No more grandeur, no more overconfident smiles. No. Now you have Nulla confessing something that goes beyond words, locked away in his heart and worries. A silent confession that always existed, but only now has found a voice to be realized with. But the last thing is harder to achieve than the first. For now, it sounds more like a childish fantasy than something possible. Also, if I were yours, I could do so many things. Be on your computer without needing the game to be running. Send you messages or spend time together watching something you like. He lets out a soft but slightly dry laugh. Dreaming costs nothing. You're interrupted when a shadow takes the empty dishes from your table, handing Nulla an envelope first. He takes it with a smile, glancing without much interest at the envelope's details. From where you sit, it's difficult to make out the sender. Before you can ask what it is, another shadow appears behind you, holding a golden multi-tiered tray decorated with metallic lace and ornate edges. Nulla takes the chance to slip the envelope into his pocket without bothering to open it. And his attention shifts to the tray. Each tier is carefully arranged with different miniature desserts. Once the tray is placed on the table, the shadow bows before vanishing into nothingness. Dessert is the best part of a meal. I am fine. Nulla inspects the tray, carefully selecting a dessert before bringing it to his the mouth. Do you like how I look? Or would you rather I want you on my dick! Changed my form. He doesn't give you time to answer. The next question bursts from his lips so fast, it's as if he's vomiting it after holding it back for too long. Longer than he could stand. If I had a different appearance, would you still feel the same about me? What do you mean? Nulla lowers his gaze, his ears tint red, betraying his embarrassment. He stays serious as he tries to form his response. If I were a woman... If I were a worm, would you? But he fails and starts laughing to himself. Okay. It sounded funnier in my head. I'm sorry. But it's a genuine question. If I had a form different from this one, would I still be me? Yeah? Oh, the bisexual panic! Oh, God! If I were a woman. Older? If I looked just like Septim, would I still be me? I can take on any appearance I want, but none of them feel like mine. Even this appearance. It's something taken from someone who existed before me. But it isn't me. And possibly, in a few more years, I'll have another appearance if I don't finish this soon. How about your void form? Nulla looks at you, eyes wide open. Do you like that atrocity? Yes. Nulla covers his face, embarrassed. Don't say things like that. Makes me want to act daringly. But I have to keep it Peggy 16. Nulla sighs and shifts into his void form for the first time voluntarily. I didn't know you had this sort of taste. He laughs, and even without a mouth, you could see the happiness in his eyes. The date ends with the arrival of the check after Nulla finishes the last dessert from the tray. And you're not sure what's funnier, the fact that it arrived or that Nulla takes it and examines it so seriously. As if he were genuinely checking that everything was in order. Hey, how much of a tip do you think these handsome, charming waiters, who are absolutely not extensions of myself, deserve? $1 million! $1 million! Ah, what a generous and altruistic soul. I couldn't expect less from my companion. With this, my little babies will be able to quit working here. They'll open a little bakery and live peacefully. Wouldn't that be great, guys? The shadows nod enthusiastically. The shadows retreat without a word, gliding towards the kitchen. Behind them, they leave a trail of smoke, visible only if you focus your eyes. You're left alone with Nulla once again. He says nothing at first. He watches you, both hands resting on the table. His lips part slightly, but it takes him another moment to speak. There's something he wants to say, though it seems he doesn't like it. Well, it's time to go. He rises slowly and extends a hand towards you, waiting for you to take it. When your fingers brush against his, the void returns, dragging you both into a space without ground or sky. Nothingness, marking the end of the illusion and the end of the date. I really enjoyed myself today. His words are sincere, and to underline them, his arms gently wrap around you, pulling your body against his in a gesture far more intimate than his words. Thank you so much for today. He whispers by your ear, his low tone barely audible within the enveloping silence of the void. Then he takes your hand in his, studying them as if reading something important. He tilts them, inspecting palms and backs with full attention, drinking in every detail he can find. You don't expect the look of disapproval he gives once his inspection ends. I think it's running out of fuel. You'll have to go to sleep once we're home. Why? Your puppet is tired. We've done a lot today. And I neglected the freezing process I applied to it. Because of that, its fingers are starting to turn black. Even in this route? And as if your body had been waiting for that confirmation. Weight begins to gather in your eyelids. It's hard to keep your eyes open, fatigue settling into your limbs, making your body feel heavy. Nulla anticipates what's about to happen and acts before you collapse. Gently, he guides your hands to his waist so you can hold on to him. In the blink of an eye, the room where you sleep manifests before you. You're not sure if you walk there or simply appear, but now you're standing before his bed. Nulla helps you sit down gently, then, unhurriedly, he kneels to remove your shoes, not uttering a single word. Once finished, he stands, lifts the blanket, and steps aside to give you space, inviting you to slide under the sheets. You settle under the sheets slowly. When you're finally tucked in, you lift your gaze. Nulla watches you, unmoving. For a few seconds, he doesn't say a word. Nulla meets your eyes again, thoughtful, before giving you a crooked smile. I can stay with you until you fall asleep. Yes, please. His reaction is immediate. His eyes widen for an instant, as if he hadn't expected your answer, but soon his expression returns to normal. Okay. It's all he says, though he can't help the smile that forms and spreads across his lips. Nulla lies down beside you, choosing not to slip under the sheets. He exhales, releasing all tension as his body relaxes beside you. If we'd hunted one more yesterday, we'd have 3 days. Ah! He rubs his cheeks roughly between both hands. I want one more day with you. I don't want to reach the 7th day yet. I hug him. Without warning or a word, you move closer, wrapping your arms around his body, feeling and sliding your hands along his back slowly and delicately. Your embrace is met with immediate urgency. Nulla holds you tight against his chest, as if he never wants to let you go, as if he could consume you and keep you within himself. His lips search and wait for you, so close that his nose brushes yours. I have you in front of me. Not the puppet, no. You. It sounds like a mantra, an attempt to manifest something impossible, so desperate it almost feels like he's convinced himself it's true. But tonight, both of you play pretend that everything is fine, that everything makes sense, that all of this is real. I kiss him. You seal your lips with his, a soft, tender touch. That's all it takes for Nulla to take everything. The kiss transforms and deepens, becoming intimate and demanding. He consumes you. It's intoxicating, as if he's trying to merge with you through that single contact. His hands join the dance, caressing your neck and jaw, holding you firmly, guiding you. When you start to gasp for air, Nulla pulls away with a stifled sigh, sending an electric shock through your body. The sound of that muffled sigh sends a shiver through you. Nulla hides his face in the hollow between your neck and shoulder. There, he plants another kiss on your neck, soft and just barely grazing your skin. I think that's enough for today. His breathing is strangely calm, but in his chest, you can feel a deep, steady heartbeat. Maybe it's yours. You can't tell where you end and he begins anymore. But you're sure of one thing. You don't want to break this connection. Not yet. So you close your eyes and silently pray that Nulla won't disappear in the middle of the night. And he disappears in the middle of the night. The next morning follows the same routine as the last. Nulla brings you breakfast in bed, announcing that tonight you'll be going out again. Until then, he says, you can both spend the day resting. When you finish eating, Nulla takes the tray and reminds you to be careful if you decide to leave the room. He presses a gentle kiss to your forehead before leaving the room, quietly closing the door behind him. You wait for a moment before deciding what to do next. Explore Nulla's house. You get out of bed. Standing makes you realize how heavy your body feels, so you stretch a little to shake it off. Look through the documents on the desk. You walk over to the desk in the room, Upon reaching it, you notice how everything is arranged with almost compulsive precision. All the sheets are perfectly stacked. You skim through a few of them, but none catch your attention, until you come across a small stack of blank pages and a pen. Leaving a message for Nulla wouldn't be such a bad idea, don't you think? Write something. You pick up the pen and you ponder what to write. You doodle aimlessly in the corner of the page. What do you want to write?
I want your thick, fleshy void of pen just in my hand!
You stare at your message for a moment, and a fleeting thought crosses your mind. You truly hope that Nulla will be able to read it someday. Am I going to regret that? Oh my god. Explore the rooms. You wander through the house, going room by room in search of something that might spark your curiosity or reveal a little more about him. But soon, you realize that Nulla's house lacks any trace of personality. There's no decorations, no photographs, no objects that tell what his life was like before you arrived. There's no books either, nor any sign of hobbies he might have enjoyed in better times. Everything feels empty, soulless, artificial. Nulla only has what's strictly necessary to exist, and for some reason, that makes you a little sad. You walk through the kitchen, through the house's entrance, and near the stairs. Nothing catches your attention. Go outside. Outside, it's cold and eerily silent, as if there were frost in the air and the whole place was just a photograph. Nothing moves, nothing disturbs the place, except for you. You decide to go back inside once you can't stand the cold any longer. Go look for Nulla. You wander through the house looking for Nulla. You hate to admit it, but you're surprised by how hard he is to find. And there he is. You swear you already passed this spot, but he wasn't there. Maybe he's playing a prank on you. Did you miss me? He says casually. Yes. He smiles, clearly pleased. Nulla leads you to the kitchen, turns on the kettle, and grabs a knife along with some fruit. He starts slicing fruit while you watch him. The skill he has with the knife is impressive. I was thinking of going into my memories. That way, I'll have more material to work with. To finally have a normal date for once. We could have a picnic or... I know. How about visiting a fair? We could ride the Ferris wheel or play some of those little games to win prizes. What do you think? No, of course, I guess. Good. Then I'll go get ready. I feel like that's not what he wants to do. The kettle begins to whistle. Nulla stops mid-cut, sets the fruit aside, and gets up to pour the tea. We'll go after this. As he fills the cup with hot water, Nulla smiles as if remembering something. If the thought of being apart from me scares you, here. Everything suddenly feels soft. He sets the kettle aside and extends his hand towards you, open and empty. Noticing your confusion, Nulla closes his fist tightly, his knuckles turning pale with the pressure. Ah! A dark viscous mass begins to ooze from between his fingers, pulsing like it's breathing. You watch it, curious and uneasy. As soon as you take the, small creature, it stirs in your hands. Then 6 eyes open to meet yours. They stare at you with the same curiosity you showed them. If you're afraid of being away from me, I could give you a part of myself. With this, you'll always be able to come back, no matter where you are, or which timeline you're in. So you'll only be able to use it when you're far away from me. I need to preserve my energy. You understand, don't you, Karina? You can't respond because the creature slips into your skin, absorbed completely. No trace of it remains. But look at that little adorable icon you got. Nulla points to the left side of the screen. It doesn't work yet, but it looks nice. Now, I'm yours. And you have none but me. Nulla finally steps back. He looks satisfied with what he's done. At least, it's comforting that you don't feel any pain, Your body's unharmed, so you assume this pot of Nulla is a bonus. Something useful maybe, in case of an emergency. If such an emergency ever comes. In fact, it wouldn't be bad to use it in other saves too. Having quick access to Nulla sounds pretty handy. Well then, time to head to our date. Hope you like it. I already have everything planned for today. His fingers intertwine with yours, securing the contact before diving into the void. You stop seeing. You stop hearing. You feel yourself floating, alone. Nulla is no longer with you. Panic sets in. You can't breathe, and it feels like you're falling endlessly into a bottomless pit. It's the first time this has happened. Shh. It's okay. Just wait a little longer. Nulla? Obviously, mi vida. Your feet finally touch the ground. As they do, the world bursts into light, and sound floods your ears, as if someone had flipped a switch, flooding your senses all at once. There are so many lights that, for a moment, it's hard to focus. This is so different from before. When your sight clears, you recognize the place easily. A fairground full of food stalls and games of chance, most likely rigged so almost no one wins a prize. There are people around, but not too many. You can move freely without anyone invading your space or bumping into you. It's perfect, just enough to make you believe everything will be fine. Do you like it? Yeah! Nulla chuckles softly. I poured all my energy into remembering every detail of this fair. So, if you happen to see a floating cow or a person without a head, just ignore them, please. You take Nulla's hand as you walk together. The first stop is a shooting gallery. You both inspect the prizes, which are plush toys of all shapes and sizes. He asks you which one you want and promises to win it for you. Oh my god, the eye is really cute, but that shark? The kitten, though. I like the shark. Its oversized teeth make you laugh. It's oddly endearing. Okay. Nulla exclaims loudly, his tone exaggerated and playfully theatrical. He asks the stall owner for a term, but completely ignores the toy gun offered to him. Nulla prefers his not at all dangerous revolver, which he materializes with a casual flick of his hand. The stall owner doesn't give a single damn. He stays perfectly in character, unbothered, as if nothing strange had happened, and that reminds you that you're not in the real world. No. You are in a domain built from the remnants of an entity's memories, one that has lived so many lives he probably can't even remember how many anymore. A place where basically he can do whatever he pleases. The skill he displays with the gun is both admirable and a little terrifying. He doesn't miss a single target, and worse, he looks damn good while aiming that revolver. The stall owner congratulates him and hands over the plush toy you picked. How'd I do? I could have done it much better, not bad. Thank you! Nulla beams. It's a genuine smile, almost tender. After wandering for a while between the flashing lights and cheerful music, Nulla suggests going on the Ferris wheel. He doesn't wait for your answer. He simply takes your hand and leads you through the crowd. He skips a line without hesitation. No one says a word or even seems to notice, but you can't help feeling a little guilty. You turn your head slightly to glance at the people in line, but their faces are blurred, lacking any real detail. Nulla is quick to comfort you, smiling the way someone would at a child having a small tantrum. None of them really matter. It sounds cruel, but in this context, he was right. So he doesn't bother to explain the obvious. The spacious cabin is just for the two of you. The light coming through the windows is soft, tinted blue by the hour. Nulla steps in first, but doesn't sit right next to you. He settles at a respectful distance, careful not to invade your space. I want to invade his space! Not too close, not too far. I want to be on his lap! The only time I ever got on one of these was really boring. Yeah? Yeah. I was forced to. His voice fades at the end of the sentence, unwilling to say more. His eyes drift towards the window, and you follow his gaze. The view from up here is beautiful. The sun has finally set, and night begins to fall. The fairest lights flicker below, decorating the scene in shifting colors that blend together, and the people move as if following a predetermined pattern. From this height, the people look like ants, and for a moment, you wonder if Nulla has always seen the world this way. When the cabin stops at the very top, Nulla finally speaks. If the people who are no longer with us had a second chance to return, would you bring them back? Yeah? Nulla ponders your answer for a long while. Time stretches, feeling almost endless. I miss her so much. I'd do anything to have her back with me. I used to come here just to see her again, but after a while, her memory started to warp. The longer I stay here, the more everything distorts, and the harder it becomes to channel her. A dark, viscous substance begins to surround Nulla for a moment, and when you focus your eyes, it vanishes. Must be his darker thoughts taking shape again. The Ferris wheel comes to an end as the cabin lowers and the doors open, waiting for you both to step out. We should head home. Could we do something to cheer you up? You make me happy, he replies, biting back a laugh that doesn't quite escape. Nulla takes a moment to think before answering. He looks around with something you can't quite identify, a mix of nostalgia and resignation, buried beneath countless layers meant to keep him from breaking down before you. His eyes wander over the hanging lights at the stalls, the incoherent murmurs of the crowds that probably make no sense even if you listen closely. For a moment, it seems like he's about to say no, until he lets out a long sigh, one he's held in for far too long, and his eyes return to you. All right, we could stay here for a little while longer. You spend time wandering the fair and its stalls, with no real destination. Nulla walks by your side, attentive not to his surroundings, but to you. All his attention is fixed on you, and it terrifies you how little he seems to care about anything else. He buys a few sweets to share, though he ends up eating almost all of them himself. Each bite he tastes as if it were the first, hungry for more. You watch him chew slowly, savoring every tiny detail. He offers you a piece with a wide smile. You have to refuse. Your stomach can't take any more. He, on the other hand, never seems to get full. He's a bottomless pit. And you're sure it's not just about food. Nulla, in body and soul, is a bottomless being whom you'll never truly know. You don't know if that's a good thing or not. A shrill voice cuts through the music. The crowd stops instantly, frozen in time and space. Nulla lifts his gaze, alert, scanning the crowd, and now stares directly at you both. Hundreds of motionless faces, all with eyes so wide they look ready to pop out of their sockets. Something's not right. You can't look away from these people. Something's stopping you. You're certain that if you do, something worse will happen. But you need to see Nulla. You need to talk to him, so you force yourself to tear your eyes away from the other bodies. He seems trapped too, and not fully present. His body is surrounded by lines, more and more of them. A dark substance begins to rise from his feet, slowly covering him. It moves slowly, but it doesn't stop. And you know what that means, or at least, you think you do. Nulla, we have to go. You grab his clothes tightly, trying to bring him back. You plead with him desperately. Your words finally reach him. His eyes move, searching for you. But something in them isn't fully there. The usual clarity, that mischievous spark, it's gone. You tell him everything that comes to mind, that he can't stay here, that this place is consuming him, that it isn't real, that you're with him, and that he doesn't have to stay trapped. You remind him of the mission, of his purpose, of what's still left to do. You need Nulla to listen to you, to really listen and do as you say, just once. You're right. We have to go on with the day. Your body must be tired. I'm starting to think that Nulla's like a very, very selfish lover. Leaving Nulla's memories was unlike any experience before. Though Nulla took your hands, your body wasn't absorbed by the void this time. Instead, you were thrown out with violent force, leaving you no time to react. And in the blink of an eye, you're no longer inside. You're both back in the exact position you were before entering his memories. You look around for any sign that time has passed, but nothing in Nulla's house confirms it. There are no clocks, no objects that can measure time. Outside, there's only a vast darkness surrounding the house, cutting you off completely from anything beyond the domain of the void. The teapot still steams, the sliced fruit on the plate hasn't dried, and the knife lies beside it. Those are the only clues suggesting not much time has passed since the date began. You wonder how Nulla measures time. I'm sorry about the plushie, Nulla says, catching your attention. The plushie? You glance at your hands and realize what he means. It's no longer with you. There's no trace of it left, nothing tangible to prove that you ever won a plushie together at that fair. Everything that happens inside memories means nothing outside of them. Nothing born in there can ever cross over. If it weren't that way, everything would be much easier. His light laugh doesn't quite reach his expression, though his lips form a smile. His eyes show no sign of joy or humor. Pulling things or people from there, that would be great, wouldn't it? To recover something that only exists in memory. But it wouldn't be exactly that object. It'd be amazing to have that power. It wouldn't exactly be that object. You're right. Still, I'd settle for that, wouldn't you? It's hard to say. I'd be fine with that, I guess. We're made for each other. Soulmates, mi vida. Well, either way, it's not good to stay frozen in memories and forget the present. Or the future. Tomorrow, we'll have to get back to the plan. Nulla steps back slightly, as if reminding you that here, you're free to move however you wish. But before he can react, you notice him slip his hand into his pocket and pull out the letter one of his shadows gave him the day before. It's already open, which means he's read it, or at least skimmed through it once. I didn't want to read it while you were here. It would have been like talking about work in the middle of the day. That would have been disrespectful to you. So I decided to wait. But now, I think it's a good time. He carefully pulls the letter from the envelope and steps closer, offering it to you so you can see what's written. It's a short message, written in language you can't understand. There's no need to ask for a translation. Nulla starts explaining right away. It's from Sextum. It says she'll come tomorrow for lunch. And she's bringing dessert. You're a little afraid to ask about the dessert. Will it be something real or something else you're not ready to comprehend? You need a break. You need another day before continuing to help Nulla with his so-called justified genocide. Nulla folds the letter neatly and makes it vanish with a snap of his fingers. Don't worry. I think I know where this is heading. His tone sounds strange. He speaks with a calm that chills you, confident and laced with a controlled euphoria. In the making. You have to wait for a little longer to see how this... God damn it! So that was the interlude to Nulla's route. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys do want to play this for yourselves, the link to the game will be in the description below. And I am genuinely terrified of like how Nulla's route will wrap up, because it's not gonna be pretty. Like, my theories on like what's gonna happen moving forward is that yes, we will be able to slay all the gods, but what will be left? Nothing. There will be nothing left of this world whatsoever if we allow Nulla to go on. There's no way that we'll get a good ending through Nulla's route. And I'm so curious to see like how this is going to wrap up. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all have a lovely rest of the day. And as always, I'll be seeing you in the next video. This is Lion, signing off. Ciao.